Welcome back. Well, it is important to get an Alzheimer's disease diagnosis as soon as you can, but sometimes that's not always easy. And we're honored to have two physicians with us from the UK Sanders Brown Center on Aging today, Dr. Peter Nelson and Dr. Gregory Jica, who are both working on some important things with improving the way that Alzheimer's disease can be diagnosed. And tell us about your involvement with a special committee or task force that's looking into this.
The current diagnosis for Alzheimer's really stems back to 1984, before we knew anything about the disease itself. And so the diagnosis was based merely on symptoms of memory loss. But we've learned about the biology of the disease, what actually occurs in the brain through many programs like ours at UK, where we study people in life and then when they pass away at autopsy, examining the brain for those biochemical changes. And Peter runs the neuropathology core of the Alzheimer's Center and has made tremendous breakthroughs in that area. So really, the two of us are focused on revising that criteria from both a clinical and neuropath perspective.
And what benefit will this have for patients and physicians to be able to have a more accurate way to look at the diagnosis?
Well, it's an important concept that more than one diseases cause people to lose memory as they get older. So one of the things that we found here is that there are many different diseases that affect people, and that how you make the diagnosis is very important. So Greg is on a clinical task force, and I'm on a pathology task force, and we're one of the very few centers to have so much resources as little University of Kentucky has really punched way above its weight, I think, in the international community for delineating Alzheimer's disease and related disorders. And so it's just one of the points that the basis, the root of it is the group of people that have volunteered at the Sanders Brown Center and have just been wonderful research volunteers to help us.
Are you guys still looking for volunteers at this time?
We're always looking for volunteers. If for folks that know someone with Alzheimer's disease, have a family member who may suffer from Alzheimer's disease, really people of any age, there are a variety of different opportunities to help us move forward to the day when we eventually find a cure, and we're pushing for that day as quickly as possible.
And I'm guessing, since it brings the two of you together with so many different areas, that because Alzheimer's disease is something that you know from your studies of how it impacts the brain, but also people notice in behavior and, of course, their mental capacity, that it's important to have you guys from both sides of it working together, right?
Yes, and it really goes from the bench to the bedside. And so there are a whole group of researchers at the University of Kentucky and the Sanders Brown Center on Aging, the director of which is Linda Van Eldik, and there are many other researchers that are working to try to get cures from the bench side right to the patients right here in Kentucky. And that's really the biggest thing we're trying to do, is learn how to better diagnose and treat these illnesses which are so devastating.
Well, great work, and such a resource we have with the UK Sanders Brown Center on Aging here. You see at the bottom of your screen the phone number and their website if you're interested in learning more about participating in this research, or I know that there are memory screenings, educational events, all kinds of things going on there, and you can certainly visit their website or give them a call if you're interested in learning more.
Wonderful. Thank you, Christy.
Thank you both for being here.
Thank you very much.
Good work, certainly.
Thank you.
It is time for a check of our forecast. Meteorologist Mary Wasson has a look at any more rain that could be headed to our area today.
Yeah, we're seeing quite a bit of rain across central and eastern Kentucky, and that's why we have a flood watch in effect for the rest of the afternoon. I'll detail that detailed forecast coming right up after the break.